Nigel, before we get on to speaking about the retained list, let's talk about Sunday's open-top bus parade. How was it for you?
Oh, absolutely brilliant. We couldn't believe how many people turned out along the route and then in the marketplace, and to see so many people sort of coming out of the houses, and there was care homes and nursing homes. It was retirement homes and people at the windows with they'd made sort of little banners and everything. It just really, I think when we all got back, we all sort of said the same thing. It just hit home how much it means to everybody, and I don't know, there's so many sort of elderly people coming up to us as well and saying, absolutely fantastic, you don't know what this, you don't know what this means. We've been supporting the club for 40, 50 years or something, and it means so much. So I thought it was a lovely occasion. Weather didn't spoil it at all. First 20 minutes were a bit wet and cold, but after that it improved, and it didn't spoil anybody's enthusiasm, I don't think, on the bus or off the bus.
How's the week been since then?
Yeah, pretty busy. We had the game up down near Market Harbour at North Kilworth, just to open their facilities on Tuesday night. Just sort of marked the end. Then the lads are off now and finished. And then the work starts for us in trying to sort contracts out, which is not too many, and get some new players in.
Let's speak about the retained list now. What have you got to tell us?
Well, most of the lads we were happy with the contract situation going into the end of the season. There's a few that most of them are under contract. The ones that are out, we're in the talking to at the moment in negotiations. I think that's Lucas Akins, Ollie Clark, George Maris, Rhys Oates with his injury, Stephen McLaughlin, Stephen Quinn. We've got three contracts that were up, which John Joe O'Toole, obviously, has been out on loan. Anthony Hartigan is also out on loan, and Callum Johnson, who unfortunately the injuries that he's had has meant that we couldn't offer him anything. So they're the three that will be released, and we're talking to the others that aren't under contract.
When might answers be known about those who you're talking to?
I think reasonably quickly. We would hope to get everything sorted with those six one way or another next week. So I think everybody wants to stay, which is not a surprise. And what we've said is we had a lovely meeting on Teams with the owners yesterday. We went through the sort of thinking behind, going forward for next season. Everybody's ambitious, wants to be as successful as we can. But we all agreed that the best way of probably achieving the success and stability is to keep the group together as much as we can, and add sort of 5 or 6, whatever we can, to it. Good players as well for next season. But the lads, first of all, deserve that opportunity to see what they can do in League One. And more than anything, we want to retain, we talked about the spirit and the camaraderie that has got us to this point. We don't want to sort of say, no, let's start releasing 8 lads or something like that. And then you're in real danger of losing that spirit and the heart and soul of the squad, which is built up over the last 3 or so years. So that's the plan going forward.
Are you expecting all 6 to stay? I think the one, perhaps it's fair to say, that might be a bit of an unknown is Stephen Quinn.
Yeah, I had an initial chat with him. Obviously, the lads, as you'll know, are away for a few days. So we'll catch up again when they get back. But an initial chat with him, I said, what you thinking? And he said he enjoys it so much, and you can see that in him every time he plays, he trains, and he's considering giving it another go for another season. But I'll have another chat with him next week.
And 2 players have already signed extended contracts. Scott Flinders, the goalkeeper, and the utility man, Jordan Barry.
Yeah, no-brainers, really. We've said all along we're so pleased with the goalkeeping department to have, Christie as number 1, Scott as a backup who we can put in at any time and wouldn't be worried at all. And then we've got 2 good young goalkeepers coming through, Aaron Mason, who's out at Wexford, and Anthony Nunes, who's going to be a first-year pro next year, who joined the club in January. Louis Turner's the only one, unfortunately, who misses out. He needs to go out and play regularly. So he's the only one that misses out in that group, but we're happy with that department. And Jordan has, again, featured in, 40-odd games for us this season. And when you do get the injuries that we seem to get here, absolutely vital to have somebody like that play. I think he's actually played better at centre-half than he did at full-back. in the last few games of the season. Did very well indeed. But to have somebody who can fill in, all over the pitch, him and Lucas, very important.
You're in a pretty good position. You must be pleased in the sense that most of the players are already here for next season.
Yeah, and that was always the plan. That's why we said all along we were pretty relaxed about the contract situations, and I think one or two of the ones that are up as well have got options, but it's just a case of maybe giving them new ones with an option in first, so that we've got the chance of keeping them for a couple of years. So there's not too much work to be done. It's more on the trying to secure the 5 or 6 players that are coming in.
To get the 5 or 6 in, might you have to move some on?
No, I think numbers-wise, we're going to be a little bit more than a little bit heavier than we usually have. But I think going into a new season in League One with the injuries, again, what we all agreed was, let's see where we are pre-season. Let's see what the injuries are looking like and the squad, and then I don't think there'll be a lack of takers for our players on loan or whatever. And if we think into August, we're back at the start of July. You've got 2 months then, and even nearly 3 weeks after the start of the season, then to assess things and say, well, there's 1 or 2 here that might be surplus. Can't see them getting a regular game up till Christmas, and then we'll maybe get them out on loan and do it that way, rather than sort of to go the other way where we're looking to bring people in. We know these lads. We know the good players, and if we can't get 1 or 2 in the squad, then I think they'll want to go out on loan and play.
And you mentioned there a couple of times that you're looking to get 5 or 6 in. How far are you down the line with any of those?
Well, one of them is Lewis Brunt, obviously, who we would love to take. So we are starting negotiations with Leicester about that. Obviously, they've got their own business to sort out as well at the moment, promotion celebrations and everything. So we're not sure if that will be a quick thing. We're certainly down the road with a striker, and then we're looking at a midfielder and a left back as well. So we'll keep on with that in the next few weeks.
The one with Lewis Brunt, is that again a loan or a permanent?
Either we're open to either. We'd just like to keep him. So that's the sort of thing that we've got to discuss with Leicester.
Anything else to update us on?
No, I don't think so. So the lads are away, so hopefully it'll be okay. Everybody will be okay when they get back. But they've deserved that. They've deserved the celebration and the break, for their efforts. Not just this season, for some of them, for the last 2 or 3 seasons as well, where we've been so close. And it's only right that they should go away and celebrate.
Thank you.
Thanks.